Hi everybody, welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I may have been a little bit harsh in the first video. I did my kind of first gameplay video because they've changed some things. They've changed a few of the controls, especially the menus. The menus really annoyed me with the way that you have to use your controller like a mouse cursor, and that's always a bad idea. But what I thought I would do to see what the game is really like in terms of the gunplay, I thought I'd attack a installation that I found, and I'm pleased to say this was actually pretty cool and felt a little bit different to Wildlands, namely in the fact that you felt more, well, definitely in this particular case, I felt more powerful as a solo player than I did in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, this could well be because this is the beta and not all the features are in the game, and I wasn't playing it on the hard difficulty level or anything like that. But what I did feel is that the well, what would happen in Ghost Recon Wildlands is if you got involved in an attack on a base or something like this, what would happen a lot of the time is that the battle would keep escalating. Reinforcements would come in, like Unidad, the soldiers would start coming in with helicopters and gunships and everything, and you would reach a point where you would have to withdraw or you would get killed. Whereas I felt with this is that as a solo player especially, at this point of the game I'm just running around as a solo player. I understand they will be introducing AI teammates in the future after release. I felt that I could run around as a solo, take out all the guards, and I eventually take out the auto turrets, and clear the place of baddies, so that I could, if I wanted to, explore. What you'll notice straight away is that the drone scan, mark, and then shoot gameplay loop, is there. So it's all about scouting it out first, then sniping players, then going in with your close quarter combat, and it all felt very good. However, it did feel a little bit less tactical than Ghost Recon Wildlands, and a little bit more arcade shooty. I mean, this may be because at the end of my time with Ghost Recon Wildlands, I was playing it on the harder difficulty levels. I would do things like I would turn off detection clouds, I would turn off spotting entirely, and it would be really tricky, when you were attacking bases, Unidad bases, or even cartel bases. You'd have to really make sure you identified where everybody was, and identified what your targets were, and really use your AI teammates to, well, you would mark the targets and use your sync shots to take them out. Where this definitely felt like more of a solo experience, but it was a pleasant solo experience. It did feel little bit jerky every now and again, and I wouldn't say it was like, say, as smooth as, well, it didn't feel as smooth as Wildlands, and definitely didn't feel as smooth as something like the Division or the Division 2, but it felt good. It felt all right, as I was running around using my grenade, using my sniper, using my AR. I'm not sure if I get my pistol out at all in this one. Remember, I'm quite a lowly character in this. Now, one thing to remember about Breakpoint, is that it is a much more RPG based game than Wildlands ever was. Now, I know with Wildlands, what happened with it as part of its life cycle, it got to a point where, in order to allow people to keep playing the game on hard difficulty levels, they introduced, I think it was tiers, very similar to the Division. So they said, well, actually the world is a lot more difficult now and you need to find more powerful weapons. But up until that point, really any weapon that you would find in the game was viable if you got on with its particular style, because it wasn't like the enemies got any tougher. They didn't have any more, their body armor didn't get better or anything like that. A headshot was a headshot. Now, a headshot is a headshot in Breakpoint. If you hit somebody in the head, they will die. But you can apparently find more powerful versions of your guns, so like your AR-15 or your M16. You can find a more powerful version of that to take down enemies quicker, and presumably to take more dangerous enemies out quicker. But it felt good. It felt much better doing this than it did when I played for the first sort of 50 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll just let this gameplay play. And basically all I do is I just run around this base, spotting enemies and taking them out, running away, coming back in. And you can kind of see some of the camouflage sort of technique I'm using here. And kind of the impression I got from it is that if you really enjoyed Ghost Recon Wildlands, and you've been searching for a game since then to play, and you haven't got another game that's overtaken, you know, your gameplay experiences like PUBG or DayZ, or maybe not even the new Call of Duty when it comes out, then this feels like a really good game. There is so much story to investigate and missions to go on that it's all a bit overwhelming. And I think in my first playing of the game, I probably forgot a little bit about how overwhelming Wildlands was to start off with. Where with this one, you know, there's multiple storylines that you can follow. You can go on weapons missions, story missions, side missions, attachment missions, lots and lots of different things. In essence, you'll probably end up doing the same thing, you know, going to an area, scouting it out, killing the baddies, finding the box with the good thing, with the goodies in it, or taking pictures of something, that sort of thing. But for this video where I'm just doing the gunplay, you know, it felt really good, and actually I was quite impressed, But anyway, I will leave you with the gameplay and put your questions and comments down below. Have you had a go with Ghost Recon Breakpoint? What do you think? And well, I'll see you again soon.
You're really making me nervous.
Just stop already.
I have a
You're
family.
making me anxious.
What the hell?
Please don't aim that at me.